right, welcome back to Gidalyfe Astrology. TMZ. I am teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia enlightening every day. Before I start, I may sound really. I'm kind of perfecting it. We're in Virgo season, y'all. This I actually set up. It is Monday, August the 23rd, 11:45 a.m. We're coming off of this full moon that I'm going to shortly talk about that happened yesterday morning about 8 o'clock, between 8 and 8:45. I remember I had posted my latest drive-through last week of downtown DC, and I set it all up, edited it on Saturday night, and then woke up 8 o'clock in the morning because I wanted to catch the full moon before it went into Pisces, because it was at 29 degrees with the sun opposing it. But before we talk about that, let's talk about this trine, y'all. We have a grand air trine. So I'm going to get emoji stickers because I color coded the modes specifically. Green is in, mutable is green, pink is cardinal, and orange is fixed. So because we have a lot of mutable and fixed energy going on, but I need to have like maybe some emojis for the elements. So it's all coming in. The more you support my channel, so let's like, please, right now. Comment, share, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. All right, but I can easily put some things together myself. Or you can help me out as just checking like, and I can monetize off of teaching you all, but not taking the money from you per se. Unless, of course, you want your birth chart done, which you can find the details in that in the description box. All right, let's move on. We're talking about this trine. So this trine is between the air signs. So I have the air signs in pink. So let's move closely. I have Venus at 7 degrees, and this was yesterday, y'all. Mind you, I was, first of all, that full moon, and almost every full moon, but especially the last one, and I'm trying not to talk about it until I'm talking about it, but that last one we had on yesterday morning, starting with like Saturday night, really Friday, because that's when the moon went into Aquarius. I was tired as ever. I could not get up together. I couldn't go to sleep on Saturday night. Couldn't get up on Sunday. Slept half of the Sunday away. So again, excuse me, y'all, for being late. I do have everything written out though, so I am getting ready to record. This is my first recording. I wanted to start with the trine because it's a little bit easier. But then I have to talk about the new moon. I mean the full moon, and then everything else is happening this week. So I'm getting ready to get it all done this morning, because I'm kidless. I don't have any kids right now in the house, which is exciting, but I always love to be around my kids. Anyway, shout out to these kids. All right, grand trine, y'all. So we have Venus at 7 degrees. And actually this grand trine is happening with all the air signs, but I have them color coded for the mutables. Okay, so that is why the North Node, which is another in the air sign of Gemini. This is the South Node, y'all. I'm sorry. The North Node is in the air sign Gemini in 7 degrees. Venus is at 7 degrees. And Saturn, which is in retrograde, is in 7 degrees actually too. So I need to switch this. This grand trine happened, is going on today. 1 second. Let's start here with Venus. Venus is in Libra, which is her second home. Her first home is in Taurus. She was there earlier this year. That was actually when Venus was in Taurus. It was a really exciting year. I got everything I wanted as soon as she hit Taurus. So let's see if I can repeat with Venus in Libra, especially with this grand trine. Trines, again, are quick, fast moving energy that happens between the elements. This one is the element of air, which is light energy. It has to deal with communication, information. All the air signs have to do with that kind of energy. Trine also helps things creatively happen. So with Venus in Libra, this kind of means good thoughts, being hopeful, being relatable. Libra has to do with how we relate in our relationships with people. Always about fairness and justice. So Libra's home. This is really good. I told y'all last week this was going to be a good placement for Venus. Now, and my son's Venus is in Libra, so that's good. Hopefully he can get what he wants. Now, I did switch Saturn in retrograde to 7 so that you can see that this equally is happening. It was on 8 yesterday. It's on 7 today. So, again, Libra is cardinal air. Now we're moving to fixed air, which is Aquarius. I kind of went out of order. Libra is the second air sign. Aquarius is the last air sign. Gemini is the first. So Saturn and Aquarius. The reason I'm going this way is because Venus is the closest planet to the sun that is having this trine. Saturn is the last individual or inner planet. Normally it's sometimes called an outer planet as well, so that's why I'm going there. And the North Node is not a planet, so that's why I'm going in this direction. Saturn and Aquarius. Saturn deals with responsibility, reality, and authority. Okay, in Aquarius, it's still fixed air, but this is a lot more of wise information going out, or wise, knowledgeable communication, because it's the oldest. It's the last air sign. And then we're coming over here to the North Node, all right, which is also in 7 degrees. The North Node is always in retrograde, as well as it's always opposing the South Node, which will be in the same degree. Okay, so the North Node in Gemini, mutable air, that is definitely mind energy. Okay, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is the information planet. It's in Virgo right now, but however, it will be moving into Libra soon, joining Venus. But that is when it'll go in Mercury retrograde too. But let's stop skipping ahead. All right, so the North Node has to do with how we want to go in life, our path we're supposed to take, the destiny that the collective has, because the nodes have to do with the collective. The nodes are created by the moon, which also represents the people. Now, going back to this trine, starting with Venus again. Venus's responsibility in this trine is to be confident in its own status and governing or authority. Okay, being confident because Venus is Libra's home. This makes Venus feel just extra special and extra strong and extra potent. Okay, so Venus is confident that she can create a name for herself. Okay, even though Saturn is struggling itself in Aquarius because its structures are breaking down. Its authority is being checked, which is what a retrograde is supposed to do. It's supposed to check you in your lessons. You're supposed to review things over and over. Okay. Venus again is also telling us to stay strong while having empathy in response to the others. Having empathy for those who have always had control but now don't have it anymore. Okay, having empathy for those who are on the path but not on the same degree or steps as you, you know? That the North Node moves backwards, it's moving into the first stages where we are definitely really relearning some things that we haven't been through in a long time. The North Node also represents, and Gemini also represents your lower mind. Okay, so Gemini also represents short distance travel. So when you put all these together, I feel like we can quickly, the trine, come up with ways to be confident and stay strong and be fair and reliable and hopeful and keep positive thoughts to quickly overcome the authority we've been going through for a while, all our lives. And the status, we've been feeling like we need to take all our lives. Okay? The reason that our path needs to be sorted out, per se, is because Saturn in Aquarius, even along with, Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn, we know that Pluto return is coming in 6 months. 6 months from yesterday, actually. 2022 is Pluto's return to the U.S. So Pluto in Capricorn, Saturn is ruling this Pluto. Okay, because Saturn rules Capricorn. So there's a lot of breakdown going with Saturn. With Saturn has been in this square with Uranus in Taurus, the fixed sign square, the fixed Earth, and been breaking down all these things, going on with the Earth. We'll talk about that a little bit more later, but just tying this all into my truther talk. If you look at my videos, if you live in Washington, D.C., you can easily see that the government is breaking down. I do have friends that work for the federal government. My last job was with the federal government. And it's definitely not the same. It's not going to ever go back to the same. So the reason that most of us in the truther world know that the real POTUS, DJT, was the last... and I have my trine earring on too, my trine and my square. We're not going to talk about squares too much this week, but I didn't have an opposition. I didn't have an opposition earring, with 2 circles opposing, but I'm wearing a square because it's just as much conflict as an opposition. Anyway, talking about the trine. And talking about POTUS, the real POTUS, the reason he was the last real president, because the president we have now is not the real president. He was falsely elected, and the Pluto return is telling us that there's not going to be any more government anyway. We need to learn how to govern ourselves, which is a lot of what has to do with the whole square between Uranus and Saturn that I talk about a lot, that I'm going to have to talk about for the next year and some change, because it's going to be there until 2023. Because mainly both of them are retrograding, so they keep meeting each other at the same degrees in certain times, which is why we had a square January between those two. We had a square just back in July with Saturn and Uranus, and we're going to have one on Christmas Eve too, which is December 24th, because I don't celebrate holidays anymore. But anyway, yeah, it's not going back ever to the way it was. We all gonna definitely have to learn, especially today with this Grand Trine. I woke up this morning to the FDA approving the jabs, the Pfizer one. Therefore, they're gonna press the issue a little bit more, because they're hanging on to dear thread with the Saturn in retrograde. They're hanging on to their authority, and they're governing for dear life. And it's retrograding. It's not. It's reviewing all these, and you should be reviewing it too. You should be questioning everything. I'm not trying to get on my little high horse here on my soapbox, but you should be questioning everything. It's very important. You should be governing yourself. You should be teaching your own kids and staying at home, working for yourself, so that none of those things that are breaking down eventually are going to affect you, and so that you can learn and get in the mode of how to love my chakra nails with all these colors too. You're going to learn how to get in this mode, because that's what we're going towards. I don't care what you think is not happening. You can go in the grocery stores and see that there's a food shortage. You can go downtown and see that the government is closed, and the White House and the Capitol. And I'm not talking about people still working from home, because a lot of them are starting to get fired or get other positions or leave. Or they're getting let go. Don't quit. Let them let you go. Okay. But long story short, this trine is going to help us move us into the direction that we all should be moving into. Now, if you've already taken a jab, if you've already conformed, you still can take things to get that stuff out of your system. You can still regress. You can still, is that the word? Yes. You can still use this energy to make plans on not conforming for the rest of your life. Never say never. And no, I'm not gonna say that because sometimes you need to say never. But what am I trying to look for? What are the words I'm trying to say? Work on this newness. It is tough. It is tough. The reason I'm so late again is because it's affecting all of us, including me, your astrologer, talking to you about all this. I definitely have these energies coming at me. I definitely am. It's a struggle to become healthy. It's a struggle to stay on top of myself, to keep working from home or keep income coming in, or get in this mode of having to homeschool and still go by the state regulations and all this other bullcrap. The city regulations, because DC isn't a state. It's a lot. But I'm still have no worries, and I'm going to move forward always, and hope you do too. Peace. One more thing I forgot to mention: there is not a grand Earth trine, but however, there is a trine going on with the Earth signs too. So here we have Mercury and Mars. They're not that far apart, and I know they've changed since yesterday, the degrees, but they're close and they're in the same sign, so that therefore they're conjunct. We got to talk about the Mercury and Mars conjunction too. That's the other thing I needed to bring out, and I do have that on my notes. I've written out all my notes. Like I said, I just wasn't ready to get camera ready and in front to talk yet, and then I got to edit all this. But anyway, the Earth sign. So they're in the same decan. They're in the second decan, which is the teen. I call it the teen decans, between 10 and 19. And so is Uranus. Okay. Uranus is at 14 degrees. So is Mars. So Mars and Uranus are definitely trining with the Earth signs, Virgo and Taurus. The only one that's left out is Pluto. So that's not why it's not a grand trine, because all of the signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, are not in this trine. So it's not a grand trine. But we still have two planets working with one. This is only a big deal because, and this is also, this happened, this is why this happened a few days ago. This happened on the 21st. So this was set up on the 22nd. So I was a little bit late, which is why Mercury was probably at 16. I'm not sure. Anyway, the reason this is so important is because this conjunction is super powerful in lower and higher energies, okay? And Uranus, the new world, which is working on us until 2026 or 5. It's like another between 2 to 4 years, y'all. This energy is us stepping into all this newness that I'm talking about. Taurus has to deal with our security. Taurus has to deal with material things. All earth signs have to deal with material things. It has to deal with hard work. It has to deal with keeping yourself grounded and stable, right? And the stability is kind of being broken down with Mars taking action and Mercury talking action. And Uranus is like, okay, I'm gonna do this in a unique way. But all this trine energy this trine energy is only reason I want to say it's not that positive, because sometimes conjunctions are not that positive, and this one has low and high energies, okay? Mercury represents everything Gemini. So Gemini is the lower mind. Gemini is short travel. So this trine can kind of help us creatively figure out how we're going to, with our thoughts, how we're going to deal with health with Virgo, how we're going to work with Virgo, and we're thinking good things and taking action on it. Because the new world in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus, is saying we got to come up with some unique ways to do these things. We got to come up with some unique ways for this new world. And then when Uranus goes into the next sign, which is Gemini, that will be a Mercury-ruled Uranus, because Mercury rules Gemini. So does Mercury also rules Virgo, so Mercury's at home too, which is good too, okay? That is all I want to say about the Earth trine going on.